gotta add a synth or something. Getting the reaction.
No, dude, look tough.
And that's the mentality I took the second I got injured. Is like, I'm gonna make the most of this situation.
The number one thing where this all falls apart when you're back in Europe is you go back and just ride and not do any of the corrective exercise.
What's that? There you go. Yes. There it is.
My season never really started, so got some motivation and hopefully a leg up on some of the rivals.
I know! Oh, you're too good, girl. Come here.
I'm gonna start releasing music, and if one person out there likes it, that'd be pretty cool. I think when you have a long-term injury, I think it's made me pretty grateful for what you do have. Happy to be back outside, you know? Doesn't sound that cool, but we're getting somewhere. Hey guys, I'm Sean. We're in Denver, Colorado. Come join me for the day. I'm gonna do some training, some treatment, and yeah, just some normal life stuff. We always gotta have a coffee before training, I think.
What's your go-to meal before a light recovery ride such as today?
Pancakes. I'm a big pancakes guy. When I was a kid, chocolate chip pancakes, but yeah.
You're never too old for chocolate chip pancakes.
Nah, still would rip them. Too much effort though, you know. Gotta get out of bed and get the carbs in.
So what's the plan for today?
We're gonna start with some activation. It's really important right now to get like all my muscles firing before I get on the bike, especially with my knee injury. Every day, a lot of activation work, and then go 2 hours training and then take it from there. Got some physio in the afternoon, so pretty standard day this time of year for me. I got the injury in February, and we spent basically a month or two trying to figure out exactly what it was. Even once we figured out that it was probably this thing called a plica, which is like a growth in the tendon membrane that you're born with. The idea was to go in and shave that out. Yeah, it took like 2 months before we committed to doing the surgery. But since then, it's been a couple weeks of riding at like 100 watts, maybe 20, 30 minutes a day, and then slowly getting back into it. But since I started really training about a month ago, the knee's been totally fine. It's more just getting the fitness back now. There's this thing called the founder's routine I've been doing since I was like 18 years old, and take some movements from that. I've been doing them every day since the injury, and until like a couple days ago, my right quad wouldn't fire when I was squatting, but now it seems like pretty much normal. But you can still see some swelling, but we're getting there.
About how long is your activation routine?
Like 10, 15 minutes, depending on how my body's doing. But you have to get it to a length that's sustainable so you can do it every day, you know? Because I think that's the most important part of any work you're doing is consistency, being able to do it day in and day out. Keep it simple, I think. If you just touch every muscle group once in the morning, to me that's probably good enough. If you get on the bike and you haven't touched your quads yet, then maybe your pedal stroke's not gonna be where it needs to be. This is a blood flow restriction cuff. It's like a tourniquet. By doing exercises with your inhibited leg during an injury, if you cut off the blood flow, it will help it heal afterwards. So it's pretty cool. It's just to like get the muscles firing in the morning. The blood flow restriction is probably the hardest thing I do, but it seems to have worked really well on my knee. I mean, I got surgery 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we're basically, I would say we're back to 100% on the right knee. So today's ride is like simple 2-hour zone 2 ride. Middle of a 3-day block, so yesterday I had some VO2 efforts. Tomorrow will be like 5-6 hours endurance. Keep building the engine while going up in volume. We'll go out to Golden and do Lookout Mountain maybe some little hills over the top. There you go. This is the real super fuel. It's what gets me out the door every morning. Let's get it. We're at Lookout Mountain just outside of Denver. When I'm here, I ride this almost every day. It gets you into like the big mountains pretty quickly, so it's a nice way to start your ride. 2 hours endurance, that's like probably the easiest training ride I can do. Today, just simple, get some time in the zone.
How's it been training in Denver?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, we're just basically coming back from this injury, so I mean, the progress has been a bit slower than I wanted, but it's going about as well as it would be coming off an off season. This was a really long-term injury, longest I've gone without riding a bike since I was like 12, I think. So it's nice just to kind of live a normal life as well when I'm off the bike here. We've got a lot of friends around Denver who basically know nothing about cycling. And so it's nice, you know, you can focus on training really well, but when you go home, you completely switch off. Certain times of year, especially now when I'm not able to race yet, it's good to kind of switch off and integrate myself into real society. In two weeks, I'll head back to my place in Nice, where I live most of the time. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best places to train in the world. It's just a great environment, easy to travel from there to any race. That's basically home for the next 6 months. We'll see long term. If we stay in Denver, I think I'd like to explore more, maybe when I stop cycling. But for now, it's a good spot. Yeah, now you got the view. Yeah, just happy to be back outside, you know? I think when you have a long-term injury, it makes you pretty grateful for what you do have. I think it's made me appreciate even just a simple 2-hour ride a lot more. Because yeah, we live a lifestyle of sacrifices, but I mean, the places you get to see and the active lifestyle, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Well done. Can't complain. Beautiful day out. Good day to be a pro cyclist. Probably make some rice, some bison steaks, and maybe put it all in a burrito. We'll see how we're feeling.
How strict is your nutrition plan?
We use this app called Hexus, and everything is pretty much planned out. Every macro for every meal. When I first turned pro, it wasn't really strict. We had a nutritionist helping, but a lot of guys weren't even tracking their food, but now it's like an absolute necessity, I would say. And if you're not doing it, you're missing out on some serious gains. I mean, I try and like at least make various stuff, but it's always a lot of high carb meals. But then on rest days, it's completely different, I would say. Like, I guess you eat what a normal person would eat, like let's say 2,000 calories, compared to when you eat 5,000 a day, it feels like nothing, so.
What's your cooking level, you would say?
I'd say if you're a pro bike racer, you kind of have to know a bit more than the average person who's 25, but yeah, it's nothing special. It's pretty minimal. I can make some good Mexican food. That's the best thing I can do. extra stuff.
How's this like off season obviously compared to let's say a standard off season?
It's been pretty busy. I've really kind of locked into working on music. I've always been looking for times to do that. When I'm like at a training camp, I'll be like, oh, when I'm not riding, I'm only making music. But the reality is it takes a while to get in this like rhythm of producing every day and like, yeah, just knowing your equipment super well. And when you go back and forth from races and stuff, it takes a while. And I will say this last 2-3 month stint, it's the most like productive I've been working on music since I first started several years ago probably. So that's been a big upside of this period. That's the beauty of having like a second pursuit is, you know, you're not just sitting on the couch angry about your knee hurting. And that's the mentality I took the second I got injured. Is like, I'm gonna make the most of this situation and we'll see where it takes me. We're gonna suddenly reappear on the roof. I think the best part about being here is spending time with, you know, people I love, my friends, my girlfriend. As a bike racer, you're traveling so much that you maybe have 3 kind of separate lives, and so you're always grateful when you spend time with a certain group of people. I definitely don't take it for granted seeing my friends here, because I'll go like sometimes 8 or 9 months without seeing them, and yeah, it's been a nice silver lining and missing the whole first half of the year. I've got a few hours before I go get treatment, so gonna work on some music and I'll show you guys a bit what goes into it. Lately I've been on this like kind of house music grind, and it's pretty fun to make and show your friends and stuff, but the music I really enjoy is like more emotional, future bass with some more like complicated sound design, whereas house music, it's just a lot of boots and cats. And yeah, I mean, there are so many things about it. The way it can take you back to a place, make you feel a certain emotion. And I think if you look at like rave culture, it's all about, you know, putting people's differences aside and everyone connects, just the notion that they like the same music. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, I mean, I've been producing for a long time, so yeah, I'm gonna start releasing music, and if one person out there likes it, like that'd be pretty cool. You know, it's my art, so to share it is a privilege, and yeah, might as well, you know. But yeah, let's start a new track. See how fast we can make a banger.
What are some of your sources of inspiration for your music?
The main source of inspiration is like, you know, a situation you go through in life, whether it be a hardship or like falling in love or something like that. And then usually you base a song around that. Yeah, you can get so focused on like making a song. I mean, you can work on something for 6 months, and then what you were actually going through when you wrote the song is completely out of your mind. So it comes and goes. When you have a bad day on the bike, you can go into the studio and like, I don't know, make something that just lifts your spirits. And at the same time, the other way, when you're not inspired with music and you just have a rough day and nothing's flowing, like you can get out and just do your work, do your routine, bike, stretch, treatment, eat properly, you know? And I do see it as a big advantage. A lot of guys would say, you know, oh, like you, instead of thinking about your next race, you're just distracted. But to me, distractions to a certain extent are really helpful. I think sometimes I'll find a sound that I love and like I'll listen to a song on repeat for like 5 hours on a ride. No joke. When you have a sound that like really tickles your brain in the right way, there's nothing more addicting. I don't know. Does crazy things to my brain. So.
It's just too hard.
We're basically going to take this vocal and destroy it until we make it sound good. I remember my parents got me like a keyboard kind of like this for Christmas once. When I was like 17, 18, I went through this phase where I just got like really into Dutch house music. I don't know, I just assumed, oh, like I'm not an artist, I'm just an athlete, like I can't do this. And then, yeah, one day I was just kind of sitting around and there was this artist I was really into, Elenium, and he had all these like epic sounds in his song that at the time I couldn't describe them, but like the way they made me feel was just like mind blowing. And I was like, how on earth does this guy even make this? I don't know, you learn pretty quickly, especially if you have like the hunger to figure it out. And I was just so determined to like figure out how that guy made his sounds. And then suddenly I quickly realized like, oh, I actually love doing this. I think we gotta add a synth or something. All right, you're a physio. Let's get after it. If I can find my car keys.
Oh, that's a good girl. Come here. Yes. Hi. Good girl. Thank you. That's a good girl.
I've got some tightness in my like left upper calf right now, but.
Nice, no pain there.
There is one thing I noticed was, you know, that popping, clicking I was talking about?
Yeah.
I noticed that was
That kind of
back last night randomly, but only for a bit.
Been seeing Sean 2 to 3 times a week for the last few weeks. Getting his knee back up and going, getting range of motion, getting swelling down, working on getting the strength back so that he doesn't have that knee pain when he's riding. And one of our big focuses, in addition to helping get that inflammation down and getting him riding faster and getting onto the bike faster after the surgery. All we're doing is as he's strengthening, he's forming a lot of trigger point and tightness into his quad. So I'm just working through the quad, trying to get that to loosen up. Originally I was looking at how the scar tissue where the port sites were, how that's moving, general range of motion. We're gonna come up, work the hip a little bit from some restriction there, look at the foot, see how that's moving, and then hopefully progress the exercise to build up more cycling specific power and get him back ready to go. As long as you keep up with your strengthening when you're back in Europe, you'll be fine. The number one thing where this all falls apart, because we're kind of at a tipping point, is you go back and just ride and not do any of the corrective exercise.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at right now, so you just have to be on top of that.
From the beginning of the injury, it's basically doing like some of the exercises I was doing this morning and getting treatment like this. And I think that's been for sure the most vital part of recovering from a surgery. We're still prioritizing these exercises and treatments, and then do as much riding as we can within those boundaries. I don't really know where I'd be without it. Probably still have a swollen right knee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting the reaction.
No, dude, look tough. What's that feel like?
It's just a weird sensation. I'll never get used to it. He's just like stabbing the muscle until it spasms, basically. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's not like painful. It's just weird.
Trigger points form up in a muscle for a multitude of reasons. To the layperson, we call trigger point knots. But what we have found is when a trigger point is in a muscle, that band of muscle is essentially turned off and shut down. What we found is by inserting a needle into the knot, we get a twitch response. And that twitch response is basically hitting the big red reset button on that muscle and allows it to come back into a healthier space. So the whole idea here is let's get this quad healthy so that when he's on the bike, he has the power that he needs and no knee pain. Pretty simple. There we go. There it is. So basically just set that, let it go. The big thing with the needling though, and we'll do this later, is you always follow it up with exercise. So that's where we're gonna look at what Sean's doing, see if we can progress it, and just kind of get that reprogramming going for that quad. So I'm basically just on a big trigger point in this calf right now, trying to get this guy behind the knee to release, which will help the mechanics of the knee to function.
Is this relaxing?
Sort of, but every once in a while he hits a spot like right now where it's kind of hard to relax. a little painful, but.
Nice and slow. That's what you want. Press it up through that quad. Try not to push off the toes of your left.
Off the toe.
Yep. What's that? There you go. Yes. There it is. So tap your heel and then don't pause. Don't pause at the bottom.
All right, done with the physio. Time to head home and get a little heat training in before dinner. So yeah, like 40 minutes in the jacuzzi and make some blood cell adaptations and we'll be good to go. Thanks for coming along for the day, guys. I'm gonna grab some dinner, hang out with my girlfriend, and yeah, call it good. And I'll catch you in the next one.